On this episode of I Start First podcast, we are talking creativity, losing your titles, really true in modeling in a completely different way you ever imagined. But most importantly, how do you overcome your anxiety, your fear, your struggles, and are creating from the heart? You don't want to miss Jordie Reid on I Start First podcast. Hi, loves. Welcome to I Start First podcast, the show for boss babes who start ideas, businesses, dreams, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Alenka Cullinan, founder of I Start First, speaker, author, and business coach, aka Queen of Pushing Boss Babes Off the Ledge. On this show, I chat with epic humans who are guaranteed to up-level your business and mindset. Are you ready to sparkle up? Let's go. Hi, boss babes. So excited. Welcome to yet another episode of I Start First podcast, where we get to start careers, dreams, and lifestyles. Today, I'm so excited. I'm bringing somebody who is very special, near and dear to my heart. She is an extraordinary human being, a friend, I Start First ambassador, model, creator. She'll tell you more of her own story, but please welcome Jordie Reid.
Hi. Yay.
So excited to have you, Jordie. So tell us more. What is this really? I mean, I know you do a lot of things and you're extraordinary, but tell them sort of the main story. Where'd you start? How did it all come about?
It all kind of started. The thing is, I feel like I kind of do too many things at once. And like right now I'm like trying to focus on that one path. But it's all part of the journey anyways, is what I've realized. And we might as well try it all.
Absolutely.
But when I was younger, my dad used to make videos, and he would always be making editing videos in his office, and I would always be going in and out, 3 years old, little pigtails and everything, Jordie coming in and out, asking, "Hey, Dad, let's go make a video. Let's go play." So he would set up his camera on a little tripod and then taught me how to make little videos. And then ever since that moment and that instant, I was making videos for my family, slideshows. I always had a passion to create. And I made little videos in high school for my friends and everything. Like, for me, it was important to have these experiences and chapters of our lives always documented. And then it's been one heck of a journey since then. And one time I had one of my photographer friends reach out, and he wanted to do a photo shoot. And I was like, okay, yeah, but I'm not a model. I'm usually always the one shooting, you know? And so we had a photo shoot, and I got the pictures back and everything, and I was so surprised. I was like, wait, this is so much fun. This is another level of creation. And so I started freelance modeling and then earning some money through it. And I was like, wow, this is kind of almost a side business. And it wasn't so much of work and business because I loved what I was doing. And my message, though, for anyone who is in the creative atmosphere, though, is to not get so lost in the title. And I was just talking to Linka about this, and it's been on my heart lately, is that now with so much exposure of social media and YouTube, and you can be a videographer, you can be a model, you can be a photographer, anything that you want to be creative wise, an artist, a poet, anything you can be nowadays. And I've dealt with this too, is sometimes you can get too attached to the title and lose your creativeness within that. So right now it's more kind of redefining who I am and then also documenting that. So with modeling, I don't like setting up photo shoots that are meaningless. Like, I love photo shoots to have a story behind it or a meaning behind it. And recently it's just kind of reattaching myself to my identity and creativeness rather than just the title of a model or a videographer or any of that in that aspect.
I love it. I love it. I mean, ladies, I hope you're paying attention because she's dropping some truth bombs today. I mean, first of all, yes, the message is the main part of creativity, right? I mean, if you're creating without purpose, without message, it doesn't matter how talented you are, you'll never get through to your audience, because I think, and Jordie is brilliant at doing this. And you guys, I've seen some of her successes. It's been absolute mind-blown experience to see her grow, see her journey, the brands she's been working with, the photographers she's been working with, the videographers. I mean, some extremely successful, talented people. But most importantly, what comes through with Jordie and why I'm having her here is authenticity, right? Her message is directly related to her purpose and what she wants to create to the audience. But I want to bring it back, Jordie, for one. I mean, yeah, so titles, yes, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't, like, if it was a heart on Instagram, I would heart it 100 times. Like, don't be attached to your title, because it doesn't matter. Because if you're not creating for a reason, if your drive is just numbers and likes and titles, you're doing it for all kinds of wrong reasons in the first place. But Jordie, I do want to bring this back to modeling a little bit, because so many girls obviously want to try it out. But they're so scared. They're so attached to, again, the titles and the modeling agencies. And they think that unless I have an agency, there's no way I can make it. And you're not doing that, right?
Yeah.
You've gone completely different route.
Yeah.
So can you share with them a little more, like, why and how, and,
Yeah. So with an agency, and I have friends that are within an agency and model friends, and they absolutely love it. And they're super good at what they do. But also I've seen the dark side of the agency, of where hearing stories through friends where they are being told how to look, and their waists are a half inch big or too big. And it's just like, this, who creates this beauty standard? Who is to say you're not up to this level? And I'm so for upgrading your mindset level, like always pushing yourself to be better. But when it comes to the physicality of someone, it can mess with you mentally, and it's not something that anyone should have to do. And so I thought, well, if I can create without having to go through an agency, why not? And more of it it can be scary. And anyone who wants to start, I mean, you just look at some photographers and like through Instagram, there's so many photographers out there, and you start reaching out. I would DM in the beginning, a lot of photographers that the work was absolutely amazing. And some of them probably think, I was crazy because I'm this girl that's like saying, hey, I have this crazy concept idea. But I'm like, if I don't reach out, if I don't say this, it will forever be no. So just keep on reaching out to those people. You'll get people who don't respond. That is okay. It happens to everyone. And you just keep on looking for whoever is within your niche. And what I like to do is, I've even made a YouTube videos about this before, is before I actually create with a photographer that I don't know, I like to get to know them prior. And that's whether through a FaceTime phone call and just talking to them a little bit more, or DMing them over a course of a couple of weeks. And people think, oh, that's just too long. I don't have time to do that. No, you do. It's actually a lot better, because then you kind of break the boundary of it being weird, or you don't know what their intentions are, or even maybe how their work is. And you want to make sure whatever they're going to create is something that you're comfortable with as well, because you want your message and their message to also be delivered, because the person taking the picture is going to have a completely different story than you do. So as long as you guys are communicating on both sides of what you guys want to come out of that, then it would be a lot better. But so if you just want to get started, I would just first start looking at Instagram profiles of photographers that you love and like. And even, it doesn't even have to be landing a photo shoot with them. It could just be generally you want to ask questions about their photography and their work, and tips on modeling and what different types of models that they've worked with and everything. If you've even wanted to work with a photographer but not sure of your safety, let's say that, because we always have to be safe, DM some of the models that they've worked with. I've done that before too. I've DM'd some of the models that certain photographers have worked with and asked about the photographer and seeing their vibe and everything, because I think that's so, so important. And when you're creating these images and everything, that's for the whole world to also see. So you always have to protect yourself. But yeah, and you don't have to go through an agency. I'm not saying that agencies are necessarily bad, but also it's just, it feels freeing to me that I can create what I want to create with who I want to create with, and not have to be told to do it a certain way, because
I love it.
because your creativeness is your own. It's not owned by any agency of, for you to, it's different for everyone, but I couldn't do it. I'm the personality type where I need to be free.
I love it. Oh my God, you guys, she literally just gave you a playbook of business and like a $10,000 advice in 10 minutes. So I hope you all are paying attention, ladies. If you have friends, if you yourself are interested, let me just do a real recap. Reach out. Oh my God, that line, like, if you don't reach out, it's forever going to be no. Like, this is a t-shirt line waiting to happen, first of all. And all of you, it's for everybody. It's for business. It's for life. If you don't reach out, it's forever going to be no, whether you're trying to build a relationship with someone or, do business with someone. It's pretty much the same thing. If you don't reach out, it's forever going to be no. Amen, sister. But also just, everything that Jordie said, the fact that you have to learn about people, you're entering into a relationship. Creative process is so intimate to me,
Yes.
Even the fact that we're recording this podcast today is, I love this woman and I stand everything she stands for, and like, I adore everything she does. And that's why she's on here, because to me, this is an intimate conversation. Yes, we're sharing it with a few thousand people, but just like your photographs, right? When you're taking pictures and modeling or representing a brand, you're sharing that story with thousands of people, but that process is so intimate because you're sharing a part of your heart and a part of your soul and everything you stand for. So you clearly and obviously want to be, aligning with that person. So I love everything you said about, checking out their vibe and seeing how they work and kind of telling them your story that you want to deliver.
Yeah.
Because obviously they have sort of their own drive and their own storyline that they're creating. But if you're coming into it as a piece, you guys have to work together very well. But most importantly, agency or no agency, you decide where your creativity level is, how you want to portray it. And the fact that you went out there on a limb and just started. Hello, I start first. You just go and do it. I love that about you, because that's pretty much everything you do in life. You just go and start. And that's such an incredible quality, because yes, you may get a no here or there, and you may not get to work with everybody you want to work with right off the bat. But hey, ladies, everybody starts somewhere. Like, hello, I'm recording this podcast from a little room in my house. Let's just be realistic. So, the fact that I've spoken to thousands of people and have done, lots of workshops and worked with companies all over the world doesn't make me a pro and get in a podcast, but I'm still doing it because I'm having fun and because I want to share stories of all these incredible women like Jordie and you who is listening at some point. I hope to get to know all of you better. So that's your creativity process, like pro, nobody's a pro day one. So just embrace the fact that you want to share your story. And Jordie, I want to go back to this because you did mention this, like sharing your story from the heart and really sort of, giving a message.
Yeah.
So what do you think is where your message is coming from? So like, what is your inspiration? Because a lot of times, girls will reach out and say, well, I have stories, but I don't know if they're valid, or, who am I to really share my story or my struggles? Like, what is this for you? Like, where is it coming from?
For me personally, I think that if you don't share it, you don't know who it's going to help. Because there's just a couple of people that I follow on Instagram that are so authentic and so real, you being one of them. And I will have to say, side note, if it wasn't for Alinka and if it wasn't for you, I seriously would not be where I am today. And I'm just saying that because you constantly feed into me, like no matter what stage of life I'm at, I could be going through a heartbreak and be so down, which that did just happen, and you're still there. And like no matter what, it's that realness. And so what's pushed me and motivated me is always keeping and be those people in your life and just knowing that your story needs to be heard too. And once you've healed, once you feel that it's going to be okay for you to share it. Sometimes it doesn't have to be every single day. You know, there's some days that I'm not feeling 100% myself or 100% motivated. And those are the days that, you know, that I step back a little bit and I'm like, okay, let's realign. Let's figure out what I need right now in this moment. Maybe I just need to feel all these things, you know, and through the creative process as well, you're connecting with these creatives, these photographers, and you hear their story too. You know, like I talk about, you know, you have to feel off the vibe of them, but also they're trying to feel off the vibe of you. So if you have a story that you want to share too, like it's you're connecting with those people, and that's what drives me, is that connection, because humans, we all want relationship no matter what. And that's so important to have that relationship. And I think that's so important for we have this platform, social media, to connect with people. And I was thinking about this the other day. One of the photographers that I worked with, Luis, he lives in Texas, and he's so good at what he does and so detailed in every little photo with editing and lighting, and he knows so much. And I was just thinking, he lives in Texas, I live in Arizona, and we were able to connect because of a little thing we have, social media. Yeah. And it's so crazy. And then my other friend, Tom, he's a photographer as well. I mean, he's been there through a lot too. And so even my friend Jamie, like when you create and have maybe a little core group of photographers that you've worked with, you kind of stay in that core group. That's what I'm doing right now, is I already know these certain photographers that I've connected with, that I mesh well with, that they know my story, I know their story a little bit. And I think that's so important, and what motivates me to keep on creating and sharing, because that's how people learn as well. Like now that I'm thinking about it, everyone learns the most through parables, through other people's story, through that journey, because you are putting yourself in that person's shoes and you're realizing that you guys struggle with the same exact things and you are on the same exact journey. So I think it's important to take that step, and it doesn't have to be through photos that you share your story. I've been writing a lot lately, and I've realized that I love to write, and not a lot of people know that, but it's just for me, you know, you kind of, maybe one day I'll come out with something like a book or whatever, but it's a forever ending journey of just documenting the stories and connecting with others and hearing what their story's about, because then you'll realize that this world is a less of a lonely place, and everyone has a say in it, and everyone has a purpose. And thanks.
I love it. And honestly, I mean, what you just said, that, I mean, first of all, thank you for shout out. I mean, we're not going to cry on this podcast, ladies, at least not yet. But love and gratitude is super mutual. But, you know, the last piece you said is very, very important. I do want to emphasize that for all the ladies listening. Your creation does not have to be public to be a creation, right? So sometimes, like Jordie said, you may be writing something for yourself right now, and maybe you're not ready to expose it publicly yet. And maybe you will only share it with no one, or your best friend, or 5 people in your circle. So when you create something, you often create it just for you. But then when you have that courage, or you feel the drive, or you feel that desire, you can always go and share it with other people. And, you know, what Jordie said is absolutely so true. And I stand behind it 1000%, is authenticity, right? Social media sometimes gets to be such an ugly, weird place where everything is highlight reel of everyone else's story. And that's why true creatives, you know, like Jordie, like myself, like a lot of women in my circle, that's why I'm drawn to them, because we share the real life stories. And actually, if you went to my Instagram today, you would laugh, because I just literally at my personal Instagram posted the story for recording this podcast today. And I'm wearing the hair and the makeup and the top, but I'm actually in my jogging shorts. So you guys can't see it. But I literally posted an Instagram story saying, truth about recording podcast on a Saturday, pants are not mandatory. So, one, you can't take life too seriously. Two is this is a creative process. So really, pants play no part of a creative process. And that's why if you want to create, like, there are no parameters. Just do it from the heart. Do it what drives you. Do it with people that you jive with. But most importantly, when you're ready, start sharing that. I guarantee you there are hundreds of other women who are applauding to this right now, knowing that I'm in my jogging shorts, because, they just don't care. That's not important. And the fact that, not everything is perfect. We as women, oh my God, we sometimes just like kill ourselves with that perfection drive, how everything has to be so lined up and perfect. We always have to come off a certain way. No, it's not about that. That authenticity is going to attract more people to you than you can ever imagine. Because hey, I mean, if you get up in the morning and your hair and makeup is done, I am, bowing down in front of you. It's just not me. I mean, yes, I do it, and I, absolutely can be presentable, but that's just not me at 8:00 every morning or 7:00 every morning. So it's not the judgment. It's just you find the tribe that vibes with you. So whoever it is you want to be with and, find that authenticity with, that's who you need to cater to. I mean, by God, my podcast and my brand is by certainly no means is for everybody. I just want to vibe with people who vibe with me. And so don't be scared. Don't be scared that you're going to eliminate people or lose people because you're being you. Because if you're going to lose the wrong people, that's a reason for celebration. Clap on, like clap for yourself. You celebrate the wrong people that left your life. But yeah, that authenticity, that's why, I love everything what Jordie does. If you go see her YouTube videos, if you see her Instagram, I mean, she's real. She's had some hard times and she's sharing them to the best of her ability. It's not about perfection. It's just about showing your soul and your heart. And the right people will stand behind you, fan on you and fangirl on you from afar. And like she said, you can be in Texas or China or anywhere. I've worked with women from all over the world because of the beauty of social media. But create for you. Don't create for anybody else. It really has to be nurturing for your soul first of all, before you can nurture everybody else around you. But I know you've been for some hard times. I mean, it would be silly to say everything in creation is easy. So a lot of times we talk about this writing. I mean, they call it the writer's block, but it's not really writers. It's creative's block, right? As creatives, like you said, sometimes we just hit the wall and we're just like, ugh, done this. I've done that. I've seen this. Ugh, like, what do you do? How do you get out of a creative block? Like if you're stuck there, and sometimes it's emotions, sometimes it's situations in your life. What helps you personally to get out of it? Because I'm sure it'll help so many other ladies too.
I would say just breathe. Take and embrace it. Like seriously, because honestly, life is all about balance. And I feel like if it wasn't for those moments, I wouldn't appreciate the moments where I have that drive where I'm on go, 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 go. But then again, it's like a teeter-totter is how I picture it. And it's just embracing it, and you're aware of what's going on. You're like, okay, I'm having a moment. I'm going through a hard time right now. And you and your soul, you will know what's best for you. Maybe that's just taking a day off. Maybe that's sitting in your PJs, for a day or calling up your family and being with your family and embracing the moment. I think because sometimes, I mean, I could be go, 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 go. And then I burn out. And I can feel it, and it's anxiety and all these things and worry that just overcome me. And then sometimes you gotta cry it out. And then after the tears, after the tears, I like focusing my attention on one little thing. If I'm driving, then I'll just look at the sky. And my friend Laura taught me this, and like look at the clouds and just focus on that one little thing and kind of bring yourself back to that present moment, because it's all about being in that present moment. And sometimes we can be in competition with ourselves from last year. And we're thinking, well, last year I was doing this, this, and this, and this, and I was so good. And, you know, I was doing all these videos, and then overload, task load, breakdown, mental breakdown happens. And you're like, wait, why am I worrying about last year? Why am I in this comparison trap of how I am right now? And I think in those moments, what I personally do, and because of my friend Laura, she helped me through this, because it's been a big struggle lately, especially going through a hard transition time right now in my life. I'm trying to balance that and make sure that, you know, I stay on the right track, but at the same time, I got to pull myself back up and focusing on that one moment, and even praying too. I will pray, and I believe that God is able to help you through anything, and just relying on that and a future part of, okay, there's something better in store. This is all a part of the story, is also something that will give you that encouragement to get out. Because, I mean, you just got to picture you're the best version of yourself, picture who you want to be, and be that girl. And just be that girl.
Be that girl, she says. Be that girl. So, so true. I mean, amazing, amazing advice, ladies. Some of the things she mentioned, you know, stepping back, reaching out to people who love you, whether it's your family, your friends, or somebody you really, really trust. Like she mentioned, her friend Laura. I'm sure all of you have that one, at least, person in your life. And just be kind to yourself. I think as women, we are just not kind to ourselves sometimes. And we, you know, expect this unreal high standards, and we just have to step up and be this incredible superhuman. But we are all human, and sometimes things happen. And like Jordie said, you have transition times in your life, but also you need contrast. You absolutely need contrast. I mean, if you woke up and did everything you wanted to and only ate cake and sugar every single day, it feel like vacation. But then it's after, you know, you've been to vacations that are like one day too long, and part of you is like, yeah, I kind of over this thing. You know, I kind of want my routine back. I kind of want my good food and normal schedule. So when it's too good for too long and it's one monotone, you know, holiday, you definitely need that contrast sometimes to wake you up and say, hey, are you going to be the next level of you? What are you going to do to go to the next version? Because you know, if you coast for too long at that comfort level, you never grow. So part of that contrast where you do burn out and you do have to step back comes from the fact that you simply need to grow. And sometimes you need to walk away and reevaluate yourself. And like Jordie said, go back and see, you know, who am I in my best version? How am I gonna get there? Maybe I need different people. Maybe I need to step up and reevaluate what I'm doing in my career or my lifestyle. So that burnout, sometimes it's basically your body's and your brain's way to tell you, hey, take a pause, breathe. Like Jordie said, breathe. Reevaluate, you know, what you need and what your, you know, what's your goal, really, what's your next version goal. So Jordie, one last thing I want to ask you, for all the girls who are listening and, you know, they are wanting to get into the creative path, start, you know, showing more, sharing more. So if you gave one advice to a young creative female, what do you think she should do?
Going back to the beginning, honestly, is never to attach yourself to the title, and to always just be you through it all. Like if you want to be a model, you want to be a photographer, you want to be a videographer, because that's not what our purpose is. It's a skill. It's something that you can use, but it's not who you are. So let yourself be, take the pressure off yourself, and just do whatever you want. Like even if you want to join a Zumba class or a dance class because you've always loved dancing, go and do it. Try new things and figure out what you actually like, instead of the pressure of society of telling you who you should be, because that's not who you actually are. So go and try new things and go find yourself. Well, she's actually already in you. So just let her come alive, basically.
Yes. Oh my God. I literally just got chills, ladies, from all of this. Yes. Go find you know, your soul purpose, and let that soul purpose come on. Let that girl inside of you shine, because so true. I mean, society gives us so many expectations so often, and people closest to us sometimes give us expectations, and everybody tells you they're 5 cents, but it's so true. I mean, true creativity comes from your soul. Like it vibes with your heart. You can, you know, teach yourself mindset. You can do all the right things in your business or your career. But when you truly have that vibe come out, that's your vibe. That's no one else's. And it's so true. So don't be attached to the title. I mean, I'm obsessed with this. Like seriously, don't be attached to the title. Create from the heart and your purpose. I mean, Jordie, what a ray of sunshine you are. I mean, you're sparkle. You are just so much of everything. I adore you and love you forever. Thank you for sharing this with us today. You guys, find her Instagram, find her YouTube channel. We'll put it in description too. But I mean, talk about a girl who starts.
I love you.
Jordie Reid, I love you forever. I'm so excited to see the rest of your growth. Ladies, take notes, go create from your heart. Don't be attached to your title. And as per always, kick ass and sparkle. Thank you so much for listening to I Start First podcast. If you loved it as much as I did, feel free to tag us on Instagram at IStartFirst_. Share it with your besties. And if you feel so compelled, give us that 5-star review on iTunes. Till next time, and like always, kick ass and sparkle up.